Imagine this. You find yourself moving throughout your day, but you can't control your body. You scream for help, but you're stuck inside your mind, only to witness someone else controlling your every move. You get a glimpse of this other person inside your mind, but you can't speak to them. You can only watch them completely ruin your life, day by day, murdering your loved ones in cold blood. Hello, horror family. If the beginning sounds familiar, that's because it's a film by David Cronenberg's son, Brandon Cronenberg, titled Possessor. Every chance I get, I talk to the horror community about why I believe Possessor is such a good film. I could probably talk for hours about why I love this film so much, so I figured I should break the film down into its key elements and explain exactly why I consider this film a masterpiece.
Pull me out.
Tasia Voss, played by Andrea Riseborough, is a conscious swapping hit woman. She is placed on a task to take control of Colin, played by Christopher Abbott, and terminate John Parse, the CEO of Zuthru, played by Sean Bean. The hit was placed by John's stepson, Raid Parse, who will inherit the business once John and his daughter Ava are terminated. Colin is abducted and has a chip in his brain planted, so Voss can take control of his mind and body. While trying to fit into Colin's routines, Voss replicates learned behaviors from watching Colin in his day-to-day life. Voss takes control of the host's body and starts her work infiltrating Colin's life.
Let's just go walk and find somewhere.
And finding ways to take advantage of the situation. She finds herself slowly becoming unstable and witnessing artifacts happening throughout the objective. When it comes time to do the job, Voss feels Colin fighting back as he shoots John and Ava, then pointing the gun to herself to get pulled out of Colin's mind. Colin fights back and grabs a shard of glass, piercing it into the top of his head, damaging the chip in his brain, causing Voss to lose control. The imagery shows the two ripping apart as they are forcefully separated, but their thoughts and memories converging together, and they cannot distinguish what memories originated from whom. Things go from bad to worse as the company struggles to get Colin and Voss under control, and they find that John Parse is still alive. He survived the brutal assassination attempt. With the mission failed, and Colin now controlling his body and gaining all of Voss's memories, he goes to where she feels her true pain, to her family. Voss watches helplessly as Colin makes his trip to visit her husband and son, so that he can bring the same fate she gave to him with John and Ava. Colin hacks Voss's husband's body to death and tries to kill himself, but he is stuck contemplating and is then stabbed by Voss's son. We see Colin respond by shooting him several times, and they both lie in their blood, slowly losing consciousness. The scene ends with the two looking into each other's eyes, and a final dialogue of Voss's son and her boss's voice simultaneously saying,
Pull me out.
We then see Voss back in her office, speaking to her boss about the mementos that she has in front of her. She expressionlessly tells us her past memories, while the final shot ends on the red butterfly she mounted as a child. This is where the film ends, and we ask ourselves, who really won in all this? The main target was not terminated, and everything just became a gory mess. Voss loses her family, but continues to do work as a hit woman, focusing on her next target. She is seen having visions of killing her husband, and seems disconnected from her family. It's hard to feel sorry for Colin, as he was dealing drugs to the CEO's daughter, and that's how they got into a relationship. He is consistently cheating on her with her friends. The companies both use people to their advantage, completely removing their humanistic needs, making the employees do horrible jobs at the cost of gaining money or power for the businesses. We get to the point where we reach a dilemma, and the audience is not sure who they should be rooting for in this whole thing. To me, that is what makes a film amazing. It is the complexity of bringing a lifelike dilemma, as things are not so black and white, and letting us choose who we want to win in all this, or simply not wanting anyone to win in this film. Another aspect I really enjoy in this film is the development of the characters in Cronenberg's story. Possessor is a relatively short film, only running 1 hour and 45 minutes. But Cronenberg gives us characters that showcase such emotion and resolve and human complexity that they feel almost lifelike. We can't also overlook the actors Andrea Riseborough and Christopher Abbott bring to the table. Now, I want to get into something slightly newer that we haven't discussed in films on this channel. That is the color theory behind the visuals of this film. The cinematography in this movie is so captivating. You feel like you are put in a trance at times in the film. The cinematographer who worked on this film is Karim Hussein. You may not realize it, but you have seen his other works. He has done the cinematography on Infinity Pool and Annihilation, both films that have tackled the horror cinematic visuals in unique ways. Let's get deeper into the color theory behind this film I would also like to say that I am in no way a professional. I just really love horror movies. Possessor contains colors in the triad color system: red, blue, and yellow. Red is one of the most visual colors, usually used to portray the emotion of anger, blood, danger. Blue represents calm, coldness, isolation. Yellow projects cowardice, intellect, knowledge. Possessor shows a lot of scenes where the lighting is bright red. I have curated some scenes here showing the moments of red, blue, and yellow. These moments of red in the film convey multiple emotions. When Voss and Colin have their mental battles, the red lighting shows anger, violence, and rage. In instances where the lighting is used to show red, it changes the environment to a state of violence and war. For example, in the beginning when Holly is going up the elevator, her reflection is shown with the red tint from the lighting, which means something very bad is about to happen. Moments of blue are usually shown during Voss's physical form. It shows the coldness and isolation Voss has with herself. She is usually seen expressionless when she is invading her host's lives, as she tries to become them.
Hey.
Sorry. Didn't think they'd stay so long.
Sorry. I'm fine. I'm so tired.
Is that it? You seem so deformed these days.
Another note to add is the sense of unity the color blue can bring in cinema. When we see Colin and Ava sleeping together, Voss's body is shown with her having male genitals, which shows that she has become completely indulged in having a male host, that she seems to enjoy these instances of intimate moments much more than with her actual husband. In the moments of yellow, I believe the film would like to show multiple things.
Why? What have you done to me?
Done to you.
You're the one in control.
In moments where Colin enters his work, most of the lighting is shown with a warm yellow tint. The company focuses on better advertising by spying on people through their devices' cameras. This shows both a sign of intellect and insecurity. The machines used are complex and show how advanced Suthrow's equipment is, while simultaneously taking advantage of the devices normal everyday people use. Most people know and understand that they are being spied on, which leads to an insecurity of someone always watching, and people wondering if it's okay to spy on people for their own monetary sake. During the moments when Voss and Colin are in Colin's mind, the lighting starts off yellow, then leads to red. The beginning yellow color feels like an admiration of the complexity of such a process. Their facial expressions also look as if they are both almost in shock that they can see each other during this process. Now that our eyes have been blessed with the amazing visuals, I wanted to talk to you all about another aspect to the film that does not get talked about very much. I want to talk to you all about the soundtrack to this film, and how its haunting audio gives us an eerie representation of the film. The film's soundtrack is produced by Jim Williams, an English producer who has a discography which includes Raw, Titan, and Possessor. When you listen to the soundtrack for Possessor, Jim makes you feel the sinking, deep sadness that the viewer feels. It seems inevitable that the worst will happen. The songs have titles that can give you the sense of theme that the film sets alone. Examples include Reborn in the Mind of Another, Shudder of His Awakening, and Serve or Govern. When you listen through the track list, the songs are composed with droning synthesizers, playing under weirdly articulated leads. The design of this film's soundtrack is marvelous, something everyone should listen to at least once. In The Own Cannot Have a Soul of Its Own, we can get a sense of Voss's destiny based on the title alone. When the minute 45 soundtrack plays, the audio gives you the dread we see throughout the film. What plays are a few synthetic strings, droning chords, as the bass slowly comes in towards the middle. This to me represents Voss's everyday life, like dragging on as she's withdrawn, only left to be a bystander in the things that she does. You also hear a short, quiet lead instrument playing some higher pitched notes, which could represent Voss's humanity, as it slowly fades away and comes to an end before the song finishes. In Skin After Successive Skin, we get to the film's most iconic track. During the transportation of Voss's mind, we are given a magnificent portrayal of Voss entering Colin's mind, and the two melting into one. The soundtrack gives sound to a dystopian transmission. The arpeggiated keys and loud drum hits make you feel as if your own mind is being taken over by the sound alone. Another track I would like to talk about is The Cry of a Mistaken Soul. If I were asked what hell may sound like, I would tell you that this audio gives me visions of the damned. The metallic horns and scratchy leads and deep clipping drums that start halfway through and build up louder and louder all make you feel as if you're diving down into the depths of hell, which matches perfectly with the premise of the film. Everyone should listen to the soundtrack, especially if you love the film. I hope you're still with me after this information bomb of a video. This is my most in-depth video I've made on this channel yet, and I hope you really enjoyed it. If this video gains a lot of traction, then I will dive this deep with more films. These kind of videos take a lot of time to make, but I have enjoyed every second of working on it.